Gunther, Knutson, and Saff are out there. Back to Minneapolis. Send it ahead. Saff after it. Behind the net. Up to Knutson. Over to Dahl. Sends it over to the other boards. Gunther sends it out. Minneapolis trying to gather and get out. Knutson has it. Makes the zone. Loses it just before the line. Right at the line. Saff with it. Over to Knutson. Minneapolis picks that up. They dump it in on net. Gunther corrals in the corner. Stretch pass to Knutson is intercepted by Minneapolis. They make the zone. Shot save. Sessman up to the point for Minneapolis. Shot tipped up behind the net. McDonough sends it around. Knutson over to Dahl. Chips it up at the line as Minneapolis. They gather, send it back down deep into the corner. Minneapolis in the corner. Knutson sends it back up right to Minneapolis at the point. Sessman behind the net. McDonough makes it out of the zone. Minneapolis sends it back. Center. Ben pushes that wide. Ryman skates ahead. Minneapolis sends it right back at center. Picked up by McDonough. Dez puts it into the zone. After it is Bradley. Minneapolis behind their own net. Kalen. Minneapolis takes that. They come ahead from center and into the zone. Ryman after him. Shot. Pushed aside by Ben. Ryman behind the net. Minneapolis. It's deflected, I'm pretty sure. Pushed aside. Bradley trying to clear. Minneapolis sends it back down in deep. Tipped and Ben saves. Over to Dez. Kalen gets it out. Chasing is Bradley. Everyone else goes for a change. Gunther with a stick on it, but Minneapolis comes by him. Hindle gets a stick on that to push him aside. Gunther puts him in the boards. Centering pass pushed up by Hindle to Millis. Millis makes the zone, but Minneapolis puts it right back out. Gunther sends it in. Millis unable to tag up. That's offsides. Hindle, Millis, Darcy, Sessman, and Gunther out there. Minneapolis with it. They send it up to the center. Into the zone. Ben pushes that aside. Gunther sends that out to center. Darcy into the zone. Minneapolis has it in the corner. Millis comes in to help out. Millis over to Hindle. Goes behind the net. Darcy into the corner. Gets pinched. Millis comes in to help. Behind the net. Hindle puts them in the boards. Millis and Hindle over there. Millis is trying to pull it out. Hindle chips it up to Sessman, but it's at center. Into the zone after it is Gunther. Behind the net. Got one off the ref, but that comes to Millis off of Gunther. Millis goes. Everyone else is going for a change. Minneapolis has it in their own zone. Pressuring with Knutson. Dahl back to Ryman. Over to McDonough. Over to Dahl. Dahl makes the red line. Sends it in deep. Behind the net. Minneapolis gathers. Sends it down into the corner, but Minneapolis comes away with it. Tipped by Dahl. McDonough keeps it out. Offsides, Minneapolis. Dahl, Sapp, Knutson, McDonough, and Ryman. Comes back to McDonough, over to Ryman. Sends it up to Knutson, trying to chip it up, but Minneapolis has it. Dahl comes in to help, and Minneapolis sends it in. Ryman after it, and sends it around. That goes into the netting. In the corner, sends it over. Saff to McDonough. Dahl picks that up behind the net. Sends it up. Minneapolis has it. Sends it back in behind the net. Sent over to Ryman. Saff gets a stick on that. It comes out to center, but Minneapolis gathers and sends it right back in. McDonough after it. Saff, unable to clear. Minneapolis. That shot's deflected by Ryman. Kalen in the corner. Dez. Minneapolis holds. Ben is able to get that in his glove. We got Kalen, Bradley, Dez, Sussman, and Gunther. Kicks that aside. Bradley after it in the boards. Gunther tried to clear, but Minneapolis held. Getting it out is Bradley. Bradley in the corner, centering pass. Minneapolis pushes that aside. Shot, save. Minneapolis comes ahead. Bradley after it. Kalen picks that up. Minneapolis sends it right back to Gunther. Gunther cuts back. Off the boards to Dez, sends it in deep. Minneapolis behind their net, in the corner. Minneapolis behind the net. Comes up to the point. Gunther, fanned on it. It held. Kept in by Bradley. Handle chasing into the corner. Everyone else is changing. Minneapolis comes away with it in the boards. Millis holds, gets a stick on it. Minneapolis able to clear. Millis sends it back to Sussman, over to Gunther. Trying to send it up to Darcy, but the pass is intercepted. Held out by, oh no, Ryman's unable to get it out. Handle with it. Up to Darcy. Darcy through center, into the zone. Millis is with him. Darcy loses it into the boards. Minneapolis in the corner. Kept in, or pushed down into the corner by Hindle, but Minneapolis sends it ahead. McDonough gets a stick on it. Into the corner. McDonough behind the net. McDonough. Stretch pass comes out of the zone. Offsides, Minneapolis. Minneapolis sends it into the zone. Gunther gathers behind the net. Send it up to Sapp, but Minneapolis is there. Sapp ends up picking that. Sapp pushes it into the zone. Sapp after it into the corner. Still fighting for it. Dahl comes in to help. Minneapolis comes away with it. Minneapolis makes the zone. Shot, save. Gunther. Boards, trying to send it up to Sapp again. Minneapolis sends it down behind the net. Dahl's there. He gathers. Up to Knutson. Back to Sussman. Cross ice pass to Dahl, but Minneapolis comes back ahead. Knutson. Dahl to Sapp. Sap chasing. Minneapolis is there. Sap gets a stick on it so it doesn't go out. And then Minneapolis is able to clear to center and into the zone. McDonough gets it out at center. Minneapolis sends it in. McDonough. Center and into the zone. Shot. Save. Minneapolis sends it around into the corner. Behind their own net. Gets a stick on it. McDonough, Ryman after it, into the corner. Sends it around. McDonough's there. Oh, it goes under his stick, but Bradley's there. Minneapolis is able to pick that up. Shot, saves. Cleared aside by McDonough, I'm pretty sure. Centering pass goes straight through. Minneapolis. Shot, saved by Ben. Wide. That shot went wide. Ryman gets it out. Minneapolis regroups at center. Bradley had to get out. Dez gets it in, but Minneapolis has it. Minneapolis at center. Sends it in. That goes into the corner. Ryman after it to Dez. That shot goes wide. McDonough after it. Bradley's able to get it out. Minneapolis at center. Center right back ahead. I think Gunther got a stick on that, or no, I don't know which one, but Ben was able to glove it. That goes out of the zone. Minneapolis after it. Into their own zone. Chasing is Millis and Darcy. Comes in. Sussman trying to clear. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. Hindle sends it down into the corner. No icing. Minneapolis after it into the other corner. Hindle lays a hit. Minneapolis lays a hit back. Millis to Sussman in behind the net. The goalie pushes it aside. Comes up to Gunther. And Millis covers and is able to put it in. Centering pass to Millis. Shot, save. On that. Minneapolis makes the zone. Shot, glove by Ben. Shot, saved by Ben. Comes up to the point for Minneapolis. Shot, save. McDonough to push it the other way, and Dahl sends it around to Knutson. Knutson takes a hit. So does Ryman. Shot, save. Shot, gloved. Ben's not catching a break right now. Is that one off? It's like I can feel this one. Gunther sends it up and out. Dez is unable to tip, so that's going to be icing on Valley.
Okay, we were just over here saying how cold it is.
I'm putting on my heated vest.
And I'm like, what are you, crazy?
I mean, my face is warm. This is hitting my face right on, but the rest of me, no.
You gotta breathe.
Well, the door's there, maybe. But... That window? Kaylin in the corner sends it around. Des and Kaylin fighting for it. Minneapolis comes away with it. Stassman lays a hit. It's picked and then sent ahead by Stassman. Des makes center. Into the zone. Minneapolis gets it out. Offsides. Pretty sure I'm gonna go like charge this battery pack thing and wear this around my house tomorrow.
Batteries for it, like, you have that cool.
No, this one is. I told you that before. Minneapolis comes through center. Ryman, Mindel. Yes. Millis chasing it down into the zone. Minneapolis behind the net. That comes up to Ryman. Shot right. Donna chasing over into the boards, and Minneapolis able to poke that out. Ryman gathers at center. Must have been an interference on Valley. I didn't see it. I must have been behind the play. On Millis. They said interference. I didn't see it. Penalty kill for Valley. We got Saf, Ryman, Dahl, and really bad at figuring out the last one. Shot, save. McDonough. Minneapolis has it at the line. Good pass. Over down the boards. Dahl got a stick on that, but not quite enough. It goes to the other D. They send it down to the other board. Behind the net. Minneapolis gathers in the other corner, sends it back the other way. Minneapolis coming in, that goes through, other way, other side. Boards, shot, high, wide. Minneapolis shot, save. Minneapolis chips that up over into the other corner. 1:05, 1 second left in the period. Oh, that could have been a slashing. Shots are in favor of Minneapolis 13-3. 102 will remain on the penalty kill.
Keep asking, tell him it is credit card. Great job, Dad.
It's just my face that's warm. Stand up. All right, we got Gunther, Stassman, Bradley, and Des. Dez able to tie it up off the face-off. Minneapolis has to put it into their own zone. They send it ahead. Sent right back out by Stessman. Minneapolis makes the zone. Pass. Minneapolis walks in. Nice stick lift by Bradley. Up to the line, but not out. Behind the net, 34 seconds. Minneapolis to the point. Bradley is able to send that out. Dez comes ahead and into the zone. Bradley tried for a shot, fanned on it. McDonough shot, save. Minneapolis sends it behind their net, 12 seconds. Comes up to Gunther, shot, deflected. Into the corner. And that's going to be full strength for Valley. Kalen sends it in deep. Kalen chasing. Minneapolis lifts the stick and puts him down and comes ahead with it. Stick lift by Staff. Hit by Gunther. Hindle sends it up out of the zone. What? That was offside. Gunther behind the net. Sends it up to the point. Minneapolis. There's going to be a roughing call, I'm pretty sure. Or, I don't know. I don't know where they're going. I'm confused. Yeah, roughing on Minneapolis. Oh, yeah, that's the other one. That's why they're going on there. That makes more sense. Kalen Dahl, Millis, McDonough, and Gunther. Jason. Millis over to McDonough, walks in, shot, save. Gunther. McDonough, able to fully handle, shot, wide but covered. Dahl in the corner, up to McDonough, walks the line, walks it over, Gunther, shot, save. Dahl. Millis had a stick on that for a second too, but Dahl has it in the corner. Sends it up to McDonough. Walks it toward the center. Shot, save. That comes over to Gunther. Gunther comes up. Back in. Shot, save. Minneapolis sends it ahead. McDonough has that. 55 seconds remain in the Valley power play. Up to Gunther. Stretch pass to Dahl. Into the zone, but Minneapolis sends it right back out. Kalen trying to hold him off. Minneapolis. Shot, save. They said no goal. I don't know what happened. 33 seconds remain in the Valley power play.
1-0 Minneapolis.
No. It's Joe. I think the ref was saying that they pulled it out from behind and slid it in. You can't do that. I don't know. They said no goal. Oh, yeah, I guess we got a penalty. Gunther got a penalty. I don't know. I'd have to pull up game sheet. Shot, save. Ryman. Behind the net. Minneapolis at the point. Goal. Went right over the shoulder. I don't know. It's 4-on-4, both ends. Nobody gets out. It was even strength, so nobody comes out.
Go, Joe!
Still 4-on-4. Hindle, Sapp, Stutzman, and Ryman. Sapp. Minneapolis comes away with that. Goes through Stutzman. Ryman gathers in the corner. Sends it around. Minneapolis at the point. Sapp pressuring. Minneapolis full strength. Minneapolis back into the zone. Hindle. Yes, because they have a power play now. Hindle's able to chip that out. I don't know why you're confused. Doesn't matter. It was even strength when they scored. Minneapolis behind the net. 109 remains in the Valley penalty kill. Minneapolis. Ben saves. It was 4-on-4 when they scored. Nobody comes out of the box when it's even. Not stupid. That's the rule.
I know, I've been watching that.
It's not a new one.
I have no idea anyone.
We got Darcy, Dahl, McDonough, and Knudsen. Minneapolis, D-to-D. Up toward center, shot, wide. Tip right, I'm pretty sure. Minneapolis behind the net. Over into the corner. Back the other way, into the boards. Darcy gets a stick on it for a second, but Minneapolis sends it back in. Centering pass. McDonough gathers. Behind the net is McDonough. That's tipped by Minneapolis, so no icing. Don't pressure too hard. Minneapolis behind their net. Minneapolis comes into the zone. Blocked and out. Goalie plays it ahead. McDonough. That was going to be icing. Goalie played it. Touched by Minneapolis. That was by the hand. I'm not sure how that wasn't a hand pass, but okay. McDonough with Valley's full strength. Trying to send it in for Bradley coming off the bench, but it's a little too far. Gunther after it in the boards. Behind the net. Back the other way. Slipped up. Dez gets a stick on it as Minneapolis tries to send it back ahead. Kalen's in the boards with him, but Minneapolis comes away with it. Gunther. And I think Sessman's going. Yeah. This is always the problem when you come from a northern tournament and then come back to D8. They let everything go up north and then nothing go down here. Gunther in the boards. Bradley, Minneapolis with it. Pass, man. Kalen. Dez was able to get that out. Stick on it center, but Minneapolis makes his own. Kalen gets a stick on that. Shot save. Minneapolis. Shot covered. McDonough, Bradley to Dez. Gets held up. Ball. Ryman gets taken out. I'm not sure how that one wasn't, but McDonough sends it in deep from the red line. Minneapolis behind their own net. 54 seconds remain. Minneapolis coming ahead. Into the zone. Hindle gets a stick on that. Comes ahead. He's got Millis. Millis, get to the net. Shot save. .38 seconds remain in the Minneapolis power play. Hindle ties him up on the draw. Millis over to sent in. Hindle, shot, save, cover. Knutson is on the line. Minneapolis is going for a penalty. 4-on-4 for 29 seconds, and then Valley will have a power play. Minneapolis blocked by Millis. Minneapolis coming ahead. Millis got a stick on that. Came down behind the net. Gunther sending it up. Minneapolis at the line. Gunther in the corner. Centering, disrupted by Gunther. Minneapolis. 4-on-4, it's now 5-on-5. Blocked by Gunther. Knutson. I'm not sure how that's not going, but comes into the zone. Millis after it. He's got Hindle out front, but Minneapolis is there to disrupt. Minneapolis comes away with it behind the net. Hindle takes the kid out in front. Minneapolis at the line, they send it down. Icing. .104 in a power play for Valley. Are you trying to figure it out?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Millis to McDonough. Shot. Wide. Kalen chasing in the corner. Minneapolis is there. Sends it out. McDonough gathers inside the Minneapolis zone. Over to Gunther. Off of Millis and off of Minneapolis and into the zone. Behind the net. Kalen out center. Shot saved by Minneapolis. It's still loose. Shot over the net. Dahl. Millis, save. There they go. They had a little pressure there. 27 seconds remain in the power play. Minneapolis comes away with that. They send it out. That's not going to be icing because it's right on Ben. He sends it aside. McDonough. Minneapolis sends it the other way, but it comes out. Dahl trying to get it to Millis, but Kalen to pick it up at the red line. Minneapolis sends it back in. It's full strength. McDonough to Kalen. Trying to get it up to Millis, but Minneapolis sends it right back the other way. McDonough. Minneapolis. Minneapolis sends that in on Ben. Save. Push aside. Gunther behind the net. Back the other way. Towards Hindle. Gunther sends it around. Minneapolis gathers at the line. Pushed aside by Link. Ball in the corner. Ball gets a stick on that shot. Save. McDonough after it in the corner. Dahl. It's going going to be icing. Wild. It's icing. You thought he was going to beat it out when he was at the red line? Pushed aside by Ben. Stessman in the corner. Bradley. Minneapolis comes away with that. Disrupted by Dez. Minneapolis shot blocked. I think by Hindle. But over in the corner is Minneapolis, back behind the net. Centering pass goes through and up to Dez. Over to Bradley. Makes the zone. Chasing is Bradley. Minneapolis has it. Hindle takes it off his stick and into the corner. After it is Hindle. He takes a hit. Dez over after it as it's pushed to the other corner. Dez trying to center. Minneapolis intercepts that pass. Minneapolis comes out to center. They send it down deep. Stessman after it. Behind the net. He's got Bradley high, but pass is disrupted. Hindle sends it into the zone. Minneapolis is there. No icing. Bradley, Hindle changing. Minneapolis picked by Dahl. Saff along the boards. Shoves a kid off him. Gets laid out in the corner. Comes up to Stessman. Sends it back to Dahl. Dahl comes out of the boards. Shot wide. Saff got a stick on that, but it comes up to Minneapolis. They make the zone. Stessman got a stick on it, but it went right back to the other Minneapolis player behind him. Minneapolis in the corner. Ryman. Knutson sends it to Ryman. Cross ice. Saff got it out. Minneapolis at center. Saff makes the zone. Trying to pass it over to Knutson, but Minneapolis disrupts that pass. Saff still fighting for it. Saff comes away with it. Still trying to pass it to Knutson, but net's off. What? No, I'm using it. And you're grounded from the iPad. Minneapolis comes to center. Minneapolis makes his own. Sent in wide of the net. Gunther on the boards. Minneapolis takes that. Dahl pushes it over to the other corner. Minneapolis sends it up to the point. D-to-D pass. Shot blocked by Gunther. Comes to Knutson. To Gunther. Gunther comes up to Knutson. Over to Dahl. To Saff. Gets it into the zone. Saff. Shot. Save. Boys are talking out there. .51 seconds remain in the second period. Minneapolis pushes that past Gunther. Gunther at center. Offside. It's Minneapolis. Minneapolis. Over to the D. It's pushed wide somehow. Gunther comes up to the D. Millis trying to get it out, but Minneapolis is there. They got like three there. Millis able to get it out. Minneapolis on it on center. Millis puts it into the zone. Millis still with it. Hindle. Darcy I don't know where that was going. Over to McDonough. Shot, save, covered. 11 seconds. Tapping Joe. He probably pushed at the puck after it was covered, but before the whistle. Behind the net. Hindle after it. RC comes in. 3 seconds. That's going to be the end of the second period. They're going to resurface. What's that? Yeah, they have them right there. Resurface. An hour and a half.
I guessed it. I said
Like last Friday. Mom has to work.
Please connect your iPad. Connect your iPad, and I'll recharge it. Hold on. Wait. I just found something good. I found a candy WL. I found a candy WL. How much is left? Nice. No, bro just left with a WL candy formula. Wait. I'm sending it. So does it charge well when you're playing? Does it charge well when you're playing? I'm trying to see it. Well, I'm playing my. How old would I be if I played this game in 1995? Oh, what should my music be?
All those boys are yeah. Up to Sassman, shot save. Into the corner. Up to Sassman. Shot. It's gonna go wide. Dahl tipped it up into the netting. What if it's energy? I can't hear. I won't sleep. Huh. I would definitely not. Gunther sends it in. Minneapolis comes ahead through center. Makes the zone. Centering pass tipped by Dahl, but goes on net. Link covers. Comes in to help Ryman out in the boards. Minneapolis comes away with that shot glove. Minneapolis shot wide. Ryman behind the net. To Bradley. Minneapolis in the corner. Gets through Ryman. That comes over to McDonough. McDonough skates it ahead. At center. Sends it in deep. Going after it behind the net. That comes in to help. That comes to Minneapolis along the boards and behind the net. They're back behind the net. Kaylin. Des pressuring. Minneapolis sends it up. They get it out to center, but Minneapolis misses the pass, and Ryman. D-to-D pass to McDonough. Sends it up to Des, but Minneapolis got a stick on it. Millis sends it in deep. Hindle behind the net. Minneapolis sends it over into the corner. Millis gets a stick on it. Comes up to Minneapolis. Desmond sends it in behind the net. Minneapolis is there. They send it back ahead. Minneapolis makes the zone. Behind the net. Millis is able to disrupt. That comes to Gunther. Gunther at center. Minneapolis is able to hold it out. Desmond puts it in offsides. Icing, so they have to make the red line before they can send it in deep. If it's Valley, if they were to send the puck all the way down with nobody touching it on this side of the red line, it's icing. Well, then Minneapolis would be this way. So Minneapolis would have to come and make the red line here before they can send it in deep. Desmond centering, tipped by Minneapolis. That comes to Gunther. Shot tipped. Darcy in the boards. Hindle comes away with that behind the net. Darcy centering. Millis shot. Saved and deflected up and over the net into the corner. Minneapolis. Desmond holds. Minneapolis able to get it out. That comes to Gunther. But that's rough on us. Rough on Sussman. All right, another penalty kill for Valley. Ryman behind the net. Minneapolis has it in the corner. McDonough. Sapp. Sends it to Dahl. He sends it out. That's icing. It's maybe 4 inches off of that being on net. Cross it before somebody touches it. It has to cross the red line, like the goal line. Shot save. Ryman in the corner. Minneapolis has it in the boards. Dahl picks that, sends it out. Nope, unable to clear all the way. Ryman off the skate. Dahl to Ryman. Ryman sends it around, and Minneapolis is there. Sapp's trying to pressure. Minneapolis tries to send it back to their D, but nobody's there. Sapp's chasing it down. Minneapolis comes back ahead. Sapp got a stick lift on that, but Minneapolis gathers again. Dahl sends it up to the corner. Dahl out. It's going to be icing.
I don't care. Let him do it.
Oh. I have another. Here, can I trade you? Just because I need the length on that one. Thank you, bud. Minneapolis trying to dangle, holds the zone. Kaylin able to get that out. Minneapolis clears. Oh, yep. Come through center. 16 seconds remain in Stessman's penalty. Minneapolis shot off the pipe. Kaylin gets a stick on that, sends it out. It's full strength, and that's going to be icing. 8:37 remains in the third. Shots in favor of Minneapolis, 26-19. Ryman sends it over to McDonough. McDonough back behind the net. Trying to send it up to Dez. Gets it there. Dez through center. Makes the zone. Dez in the corner. Minneapolis takes that, sends it ahead. Unable to hold. Ryman to McDonough. Back to Ryman. Back to McDonough. Up to Dez. Dez makes the zone, but gets taken out right at the line. Minneapolis sends that ahead. Minneapolis into the zone. Millis after it. Kendall with a stick lift. Shot save. McDonough behind the net. Minneapolis shot glove. After that, in the boards, comes to Gunther. Gunther goes back the other way. Gunther up to Darcy. Darcy through center. Makes the zone, sends it in deep. Ellis in the corner. Oh, you're backpedaling. Stessman chips it ahead. Minneapolis comes ahead with that. That goes over the net. Back to McDonough. So this pass goes right to Minneapolis. Tim after it in the boards. So Minneapolis comes away with that. That shot is blocked and chipped behind the net. Minneapolis in the corner. .625 remains. It's a trip. That is a trip on Millis. Is that his third? Is it? Is that his third? Are you sure? They're not live scoring. to center, or the front, but no one there. Goes back to center. Ryman to Gunther. Kalen to Gunther. Up to Dez. Minneapolis was changing. Shot, save. Minneapolis behind their net. Hindle. Millis comes out to center. Ryman to McDonough. Trying to get to Ryman. Sent ahead. Minneapolis is there. Millis gets a stick on it, but Minneapolis sends it deep behind the net. McDonough. Minneapolis has that. That shot goes wide. That comes out to Darcy. Kicks it ahead through center. Minneapolis takes it. Sends it out of the zone. Ryman to McDonough. To Darcy off the stick. Minneapolis comes back the other way. Sent out. Hindle up to Millis. Darcy. Into the zone. Over to Millis. He takes an open ice hit. Are you kidding me? How is that not a call? Minneapolis takes it out of the zone. Minneapolis sends it down into the corner. McDonough. Stretch. Stretch. What are we doing? Darcy up to Hindle. Passes off. Minneapolis sends that back at Ryman. Minneapolis makes the zone. Out wide. Darcy. Unable to clear. Ryman trying to get it out, but Minneapolis is there. Hindle. Minneapolis holds again. Shot, save. Given to McDonough. He's got Alec high. Come on. Gunther with it. It's icing. Didn't see him. 1:49 remains. Into the corner after it is Gunther. Sapp able to get it out of the zone. Minneapolis sends it back ahead. Gunther is able to clear or keep it out. He's back behind the net. Sussman over to Knutson. Knutson sends it back deep. Over to Sapp. Stick lift. Dahl comes in to pick that puck up. Sends it in deep into the corner. Goaltender plays it behind the net. Dahl comes away with it. Up to McDonough. McDonough shot deflected. It comes down right at Knutson. Picked up by Gunther. Minneapolis sends it out and deep. That's going to be icing. And Valley pulled the goalie. Yeah? Back to Gunther. Shot. Save. Behind the net. Minneapolis. Knutson. Yeah. Minneapolis sends that down. Wide icing. 40 seconds remain. Minneapolis. Blocked by McDonough, sent back ahead. Dez. Shot into the netting. It's exhibition, so it doesn't really matter. Gunther, shot, save. Comes to Ryman, shot. So we have the ice until 9:45. So they'll end it at 9:45, but they can do an overtime if the coaches agree. Dez after it. Dez. And into the boards. 11 seconds. Caitlin centering. Oh, Minneapolis there, not Valley. Minneapolis coming ahead. Minneapolis. Sessman got a stick on that. That's going to be the end of the third. Oh. Yeah, it's a little nuts. All right, they decided to say they're